Hey there guys, Aldershot here, and today we're going to bring you another addition to the Warframe Beginner's Guide, and today we're going to cover Valkyr. Now I didn't actually expect to cover an advanced Warframe so quickly, but with the update 11 and Valkyr sneaking up on us, I figured I'd cover her while she's still a hot topic. So yeah, this is Valkyr. She's pretty. She is very much a tanky melee base kind of Warframe, and we'll get into that once we jump into Xeni and I'll show you her moves. But for now, I want to show you what she comes with as far as polarities go when you first get her. Now ignore this dash polarity, alright, because I actually formatted her not long ago, and I added this dash build polarity myself. So she comes by default a V polarity for her aura, 4 ability polarities, the double dash polarities in the corner as usual, and 2 V polarities, which are very useful. Yeah, that's what she comes with by default. Again, this dash polarity I added myself. Okay. So yeah, this is her stats: 300 health, at least at rank 30. With mods. Actually, you know, I'm not going to go through this because my mods are definitely throwing this off, but just know that her stats are relatively mediocre across the board, except for her armor rating, which is the highest by default in this game currently, so that's kind of interesting. She has 4 abilities, just like every other Warframe. She has Rip Line, she has Paralysis, she has Warcry, and she has Hysteria. We'll get into those, of course, as we go along. I gotta say, all her abilities so far that I've tested have come in use. They do seem to have quite a bit of use, and they all actually synergize really well. So that's really nice, really interesting to see, because too many Warframes have abilities that are just, you know, very mediocre, and most people generally just don't equip it, you know. And she does not suffer this issue, as far as I can tell so far. Alright, so getting right into it, her first ability is Rip Line, the fabled grappling hook. Okay, so that can be used to traverse, get to higher areas, and also to move a little bit faster via, like, kind of like Batman from like Batman Origins, kind of like that. Okay, it can also be used offensively by pulling a mob towards you, kind of like Scorpion style, while it also does a bit of damage as well. The damage can be increased with damage power mods, and the range of it can be increased with power range mods. Okay? So it has a lot of utility, and it has a little bit of offensive abilities, but not, I wouldn't say a whole lot. But that's generally Rip Line in a nutshell. Alright, and her second ability is Warcry. Boom! Very good ability. What it does is, she does a shout in a given area, and it increases her melee speed, her damage rating, and decreases the speed of the mobs around her. Okay? Now this actually also affects your friendlies as well. It'll buff them the same way as long as they're in the vicinity of the shouts. So that's very, very useful as far as a buff is concerned. Okay, now I don't have enough energy right now for the third ability, so give me a second while I look for some energy orbs. But her energy, actually yes I do. What am I saying? Her third ability, it's called Paralysis. It's very, very interesting. It's definitely one of the more uniquely designed abilities of Warframe. I've never seen anything from Warframe like this yet. What it does is it only takes 5 energy, and it's a short stun. Like as you can see, they're back on their feet, but I can spam it over and over and over again. Now, it's only 5 energy, and it's a short spam of stun. However, it does have a bit of a drawback, where it takes up half your current shields whenever you use it. It can take you down all the way to 0 shields, in which you can still use it, but you'll have 0 shields. Okay, it's a good thing she has a good armor rating. So, that's interesting, because it can be used, obviously, for a secondary kind of crowd control. When things go awry, and worst case scenario calls for it, then you'll use that ability, and you kind of work yourself as kind of like a stun totem. Alright? It can also be used to stun mobs for a very brief second, just so you can pop another ability. So when you kind of stay still for the animation, when it casts the ability, you won't get hit. So that's also useful in that way as well. Now, I want to get into her final ability. I want to spend the majority of this video talking about it. her final ability is Hysteria, this one right here. And when she uses it, she transforms herself into this crazy Wolverine-like mode, where she'll just punch everything to death, like crazy. Okay? And when you're in this mode, you're actually invulnerable. You don't take any damage whatsoever. Now, however, as nice and OP as that sounds, you do actually, in fact, do take some damage, possibly. Alright, if there's still mobs around you when this effect wears off, you will take the total amount of damage you've taken while in this mode, a percentage of it anyways, in one large lump sum. So that can actually potentially kill you. So do keep that in mind. Alright, that's going to be something you have to work around. So it takes 100 energy. It can be reduced with power mods, or energy efficiency mods I should say, and the strength of it can be increased with power efficiency mods. And although when you can actually stretch the range of it, because it does have small AoE for each punch with stretch mods. Now, that all sounds good and dandy, and it sounds a little bit overpowered, being invulnerable and having this crazy punching ability that does a lot of damage. However, Digital Extreme was really, really smart, very sneaky, and the design is just actually really well done, because this punching effect is kind of her bottleneck for damage. Most people would be like, oh, I'm punching stuff so fast, I'm doing so much damage, but the truth is, if you're able to be invulnerable in this mode, and able to use your rifle, your pistol, and your melee still, your damage output would actually be higher. Because, for example, especially if you're using like supercharged potatoed weapons, like for example my Orthos Prime, okay? It's formatted like 5 times, been potatoed up, so it's very, very powerful. If I can use that while being invulnerable, I would actually do more damage because of the speed, the damage, and also because it has a much greater range than each punch here. So I would actually be doing a lot more damage if they gave me the ability to use my weapons as well. But because they didn't, because they replaced it with this punching effect, this is the bottleneck, okay? You're still going to do a lot of damage, more damage than if you were to just normally attack with your melee weapon. However, you can't charge, okay? You're reduced to just normal attacks, although I believe it's still piercing damage. I don't know, damage is a little bit weird right now. But anyways, so yeah, you're still doing a lot of damage. However, again, you're not going to be doing as much damage as if you were to actually use weapons. So, Hysteria is actually is more of a tank ability than an offensive ability, you think about it. Because, worst case scenario, let's say like 2 or 3 of your team members are down. You pop your Hysteria, alright, you're good to go. You can pick 1 or 2 of them up now. Because you're invulnerable for the time being. Alright, so that's going to be really useful as a utility move. And you're still doing a lot of damage. You basically become a wall of punches, so you can tank a lot of mobs at the same time, and punching them in the face. So that's super fun. And yeah, you can actually improve the amount of damage with focus mods and the sorts. But that's essentially Valkyr in a nutshell. I hope you found this useful. Definitely very well designed. I feel she's pretty balanced, to be honest. Some people might nag about the whole invulnerability thing, just like they did for the original Rhino skin. We'll see where that goes, but because she can't use her weapons, and because you know, she's locked to that melee damage, and she does take damage after the ability wears off if there's still mobs around. I think it's pretty balanced, to be honest. I've actually gotten knocked down from that negative effect before, and the whole risk reward thing with paralysis, the whole 5 energy spammable move that takes half your shields, that's really well designed as well. But anyways, guys, I just want to go through Valkyr in a nutshell. Go over, you know, the basics of her, basic strategy, and my basic thoughts on her. I will be making a very in-depth build for her as well, and that's going to be following up this video very, very shortly. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you know, send me some love. You know, give me a like, throw me comments, tell me what else you want me to cover in Warframe. Tell me any other games you want me to cover, because I cover lots of other games as well. And most importantly, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I would really, really appreciate it. Small channel and all, need your help to grow it. Thanks a lot, guys. Alder shout out.